All right, it is 8 o'clock. I'm going to switch over to the agenda screen, so please let me know if there's something I'm supposed to be looking at on Zoom. I'm Mayor Micah Watson, and today is Thursday, August 14th, and so I hereby call this meeting of the Cheverly Mayor and Council to order. Vice Mayor, would you bang the gavel for us? That's amazing. I saw you bang it, but I still can't hear you, but that's okay. All right. I believe the first order of business will be calling the roll. Councilmember Ward 1, are you present?
Present.
Councilmember Ward 2?
Present.
Councilmember Ward 3?
Present.
Ward 4?
Present.
Ward 5? Ward 6?
Present.
All right. Councilmember Garces is not here yet, and I don't see him online. Please, if anyone sees him join, let the group know. I have not heard from him. Well, the one thing I heard from him is that he was planning to attend, so that is hopeful news. Okay, item 2 on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item 3.
Mayor, Councilmember Garces is online.
Oh, great. All right. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so all 7 elected officials are present. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. I see 14 items on the agenda plus adjournments. I do not see any of the items highlighted for public input. I suppose the only items that we might have public input for are item 8, the election supervisor resolution, and item 9, the second reading of the ethics ordinance. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Okay, motion to approve made by Councilmember Vice Mayor Briner, seconded by Councilmember Tansey. Is there any discussion about the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any extensions? Okay, that's 6-0 in the affirmative. The agenda is approved. Item 4 is the consent agenda, which for August consists of 3 sets of minutes, July 10, July 24, and the special meeting on July 31. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Wade, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Is there any discussion about the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The consent agenda is consented to unanimously. Item 5, resident input. This is for comments limited to 3 minutes by any town resident. Please state your name and ward. Is anyone in person or online? Let's go with in person first. I can't hear him. Is that Mr. Yoakum?
Can you hear me now? There we go.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, very good. Good evening. This is Paul Yoakum, Ward 2. I am here this evening to, well, first of all, let me recognize Mr. Mayor. It's good to see you, the members of the council. Thank you, members of our police department and members of our community. It's good to see you all this evening. Back in last November, I began a project to recognize my father's 100th birthday, which just occurred last month in July. And I'm here tonight to thank everyone involved in the exemplary service that I received from both the town Public Works Department, which would include Luis Cardenza, and also the John Stanford, who did a fantastic job of placing my father's commemorative plaque in the ground outside, and also the town arborist Tolbert Feathers for approving the site. And I want to express my sincere gratitude and thank you to the town council and the mayor for allowing me to put up a plaque in memory of my father at the town park, and also the proclamation that was made. In the front office, I definitely want to thank Yvonne White, as well as the exemplary service that I received from Asia Prom. Asia and Louise were just absolutely phenomenal throughout this whole event, the planning of the event, and then actually getting everything done. So I am thrilled to death with the service that I've received from the town of Cheverly. I thank the town council, I thank the Public Works Department, and that's it. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you for those comments, and I want to echo all of them in thanks to the town staff for coming together on that initiative. I see 4 attendees online, 5 attendees online. Ms. Salo, it looks like your hand is up. Would you like to go next?
Mayor, we also have someone here in person.
Oh, did you want to?
Would you mind waiting, Ms. Salo, because Ms. Lang is already
I don't
up?
mind. I don't mind.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Lang.
Well, want me to go next? Okay. The Women's Club has purchased some books that we will put on loan for anybody who wants to come and take them out. And there are 2 books. The first, they're both by Maddie Stepanek. And the first one is called Reflections of a Peacemaker, A Portrait Through Heart Songs. And there's another one that he wrote. He was a young man who is from Montgomery County. He had multiple sclerosis and died when he was 13. And he wrote all kinds of poems at that age and younger about peace. It's really very exciting, and we'd love for people in town to borrow the book. I'm going to leave this one with the council. I think the first one I've already given to the council. And anybody who wants to borrow a book, like a lending library, just let us know. Thank you.
Okay, and that was Joyce Lang, who I believe now lives in Ward 6, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Ms. Salo, you are up next, and if anyone else online would like to speak after her, please raise your hand. Go ahead, Ms. Salo.
Okay, Sheila Salo, Ward 2, still Ward 2. Good evening, everyone. Are you looking forward to planning next year's plantings? Why settle for beauty alone when you can use your garden to support our environment? Let's plan for ecological function. Let's choose native trees, shrubs, and herbaceous plants that hold the soil, prevent stormwater runoff, comb particulate pollution from the air, and certainly not least, support beneficial insects, birds, and other wildlife. How can we learn about eco-friendly plantings? Check out the Cheverly Green Infrastructure Plan for recommendations that apply to both town land and our own yards. Take a hike. Examples of native plant gardens and naturalized areas created by Friends of Lower Beaver Dam Creek are on view at Magruder Spring and along Woodworth Trail. Similar plantings by the Community Native Planting Project may be seen on private and public property around town. How can you get started planning your garden for both beauty and the environment? You'll find helpful links and reading suggestions at www.greeninfra.org. greencheverly.org. And now, a news update from the Cheverly Green Infrastructure Committee. The committee's meeting on August 4th was a joint meeting with the Cheverly Planning Board. We hosted a presentation by the Go Prince George's team compiling the new master plan of transportation for the county. The presentation is posted at www.greencheverly.org. And be sure to visit our table on Cheverly Day, October 4th. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Is there any other resident input in person or online?
Not in person.
I'm not seeing any hands. Oh, Mr. Price, I think your hand is up. Go ahead, sir. On my screen. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Fred Price, Ward 4. I'd like to ditto the young man's statement that began the presentation, and I'd like to offer the same accolades for the improvements that were made in Boyd Park and the recognition of Robert McLean and Leila Price. I got misinformation. I thought the meeting was to start at 7:30, but I'm still here with you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Go ahead. This, apologize for any confusion. This will be the last 8 o'clock meeting that the mayor and council have regularly scheduled. And I'll mention that later in the meeting. But going forward, the regularly planned second Thursday and regularly planned fourth Thursday meetings will start at 7:30 each month. Seeing no further public input, that takes us to committee reports, and up first is the Recreation Council.
We didn't have a meeting we took a couple months off. We're soon to be starting again our meetings this upcoming fall, so there's nothing to report regarding that.
All right, thank you, Council Member Wade. Next is the Cheverly Day Committee.
Plans are proceeding apace. We have a sort of the T-shirt design is in progress. The theme being the many parks of Cheverly. So the design will feature a map of Cheverly, including the various parks around the town, and that design will be finalized and the shirts will be printed. If people want to reserve tables, that deadline, I believe, is September the 18th or the 15th. And if you want to get a table for any period of time, I think there is a $100 charge for a table.
Is there all
Okay.
for the sponsorship too? Is that the deadline around that time too? Or?
Let me check, but yeah.
No problem. So I'll put it on the spot.
Okay, and again, Cheverly Day is Saturday, October 4th, so everyone knows. Anything else, Councilmember LeGlohic?
I have nothing else at this time.
Any questions about Cheverly Day from the council? Hearing none, the third report is Planning Board.
We had a brief meeting before the presentation from the PG Transportation Group. The Planning Board is finalizing a set of questions they recommend we ask of the Hospital Hill or Cheverly Hill Development team to get information and ask about best practices for a variety of things, but they were not finished by the end of that meeting. My understanding is they're hoping to get it to us in short order. Once I get a copy of that, I will make sure to send it to the council.
Great, thank you. I would appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Any questions for Councilmember Tanzi?
Councilmember Frye?
The presentation was it a PowerPoint or anything like that that can be forwarded to the rest of us? Or are we inviting them to provide that same presentation to council?
So that's a good question. That was, there is a PowerPoint that I can share. So I'll get a copy of that. That was the Green Infrastructure Committee's hosted presentation. So I did not have any direct involvement in that.
Mr. Galloway, can we have that presentation at one of our work sessions coming up, please?
That sounds very reasonable.
Since
Don't
none of
leave it
us
all.
were involved or included in that, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any further questions about the planning board activities? And thank you again, Councilmember Tanzi, for being the liaison. Hearing none, is there any report from the Elections Board or from the Ethics Commission? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is the closed session summary.
Hey, Mayor?
There have been 2 closed sessions of the mayor and council recently.
That's fine.
Tonight, I will read the closed session summary for the July 31 closed session. At the September town meeting, I will read the closed session summary for the August 11 closed session. Both what I'm about to read now for July 31 and the closed session summary for August 11 will be appended to the meeting minutes of the September 11th town meeting. Okay, so both closed session summaries will be appended to the meeting minutes for the September 11 town meeting. I'll proceed to read the closed session summary for the closed session held by the mayor and council on July 31, 2025. On July 31, 2025, the mayor and council voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3101 of the General Provisions Article Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting at 8:30 p.m. by motion made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember LeGloahec. The vote was unanimous to hold a closed session. There were 3 reasons under the law cited to close the session. I will read them now. Section 305B1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. The second reason was 3305B7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. And the third reason was 3305B3, to consider the acquisition of real property for a public purpose and matters directly related thereto. Those present were the entire mayor and council, Town Administrator Delane Galloway, and Town Attorneys Jason DeLoach Esquire and Todd Pounds Esquire. During the closed session, the mayor and council received an update on pending litigation from Attorney Pounds and received advice from Attorneys Pound and DeLoach on how to proceed. The council received the update and advice and directed Mr. Pounds to dismiss the subject lawsuits. The mayor and council discussed obtaining certain real property under the law and received advice and direction from Attorneys Pounds and DeLoach as to the process. Mr. Galloway provided facts on the subject properties. The mayor and council decided to proceed with acquisition of 2 properties immediately and pursue a 3rd property at a later date. Mr. Galloway discussed the roles of a specific employee and provided an update on the employee's progress in that role. No action was taken on that issue. Mr. Galloway also advised the mayor and council on the current and future status of a specific employee of the town. No action was taken on that issue. The mayor and council discussed the planning of an evaluation of an employee. It was decided the evaluation will be performed between Thanksgiving and Christmas. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Garces. The motion passed unanimously. The closed session ended at 9:39 p.m. on July 31, 2025. That concludes item 7. Item 8 on the agenda is resolution R525, the appointment of Christina Bruff to be an election supervisor for the remainder of this term. Let me find that, and I will briefly, or as quickly as I can, read the resolution. Resolution R525, appointment of a member of the Board of Election Supervisors. Whereas the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly, Maryland desire to make appointments to the positions of election supervisor. Now therefore be it resolved that in accordance with the provisions of section C18A of the charter of the town of Cheverly, Maryland, the following person is appointed as an election supervisor for a 2-year term. Christina Bruff. Term 2025 to 2027. This appointment is effective on the date of the resolution. Adopted, we'll change the adopted date to August 14th, 2025. Are there any questions about the resolution from the council? Okay, I will simply say that now with this appointment of Ms. Bruff, the Board of Election Supervisors has a full slate of 5 supervisors. And I think it was Supervisor Chair Kay made the other excellent point that the Board of Election Supervisors now has a Spanish-speaking member as well. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is the second, unless I read the wrong page, is the second reading of the ethics ordinance. So I will briefly read the introduction of that ordinance and invite any questions or comments from council. Ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly to repeal in its entirety and reenact Chapter 3 Code of Ethics of the Town Code. Whereas 5801 of the General Provisions article of the Annotated Code of Maryland requires municipal corporations to enact ethics laws and requires that the State Ethics Commission approve all municipal ethics ordinances. And whereas the mayor and council of the town of Cheverly desire to maintain the highest trust in their public officials and employees. And whereas the mayor and council deem it necessary and in the public interest to repeal the current Code of Ethics and reenact new ethics laws by adopting model provisions contained in the Code of Maryland regulations to reflect what is currently required under Maryland law. Section 1, now therefore be it ordained that Chapter 3 Code of Ethics of the Town Code is hereby repealed in its entirety and reenacted as follows. I'll suspend the reading there and simply encourage everyone to refer to that as it is an entire replacement of our ethics code. This is the second reading of the ordinance. I expect that unless the mayor and council have other intentions, we will adopt this ordinance at the September 11, 2025 town meeting. Are there any council members who would like to comment or staff would like to comment on the second reading of the ethics ordinance? Are there any members of the public who would like to comment on the proposed ethics ordinance?
Mayor,
Yes.
point of order. Were we not meant to vote on the resolution for the Board of Election Supervisor position?
I think we were.
Okay.
So let us dispense with the second reading of the ethics ordinance, and then we will go back to that item. Thank you for pointing that out. Going once, going twice. All right, that concludes the second reading of the ethics ordinance. We will go back now to the election supervisor resolution. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Move to adopt the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion to adopt the supervisor resolution is made by Councilmember Legloahec and seconded by Councilmember Tansey. Is there discussion? Hearing no discussion from the council, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, thank you. It passes unanimously. Thank you for that point of order, Vice Mayor. Let me find my agenda now that we are concluded those two items. I have to spin back. Here we go. Okay. We are moving along at a breakneck pace tonight. Item 10 is the Town Administrator Report. Mr. Galloway.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and Town of Cheverly. Hope you all are doing well this evening. I just have a few items to report out this evening. Number one being regarding Hospital Hill. I met recently with the developer of Hospital Hill, and they indicated to me that the preliminary plan of subdivision has been resubmitted to parking planning, and it's currently being reviewed specifically for the stormwater related elements, and they just received it over the last few days. We anticipate receiving comments within the next week. Once all the questions are addressed, if they're accepted by parking planning, that's when the 30-day clock will begin. After having the conversations with the developers, they're indicating that, are anticipating a meeting at the end of October. So just wanted to make you all aware of that. They also indicated to me that the preliminary plan of subdivision includes an updated traffic study. The developer is aiming to secure a rough grading permit in the next few weeks to address grading around the bed tower. And we had some discussions about the county health building and the reuse of the county health building. So they're in communication with the county in regards to that property. Any questions as it relates to the Hospital Hill property as of right now? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, preliminary plan of subdivision. Like, this is it? This is not a test? This is not a drill? It's actually been submitted?
It has been submitted.
Okay. So we have a limited amount of time to provide comment after we receive it. My understanding was that the developers, sort of concurrently with submitting it to Parks and Planning, was going to also give us a copy so that we could begin to look at it and compile our comments, because once we receive it formally, we only have 30 days, right?
Correct.
So my question is, A, and you probably don't have the answer to this, can we see it? And can the planning board see it? And B, should we schedule some kind of special meeting because I know our September work session is going to be very busy, for council to review it and collaborate on what our comments will be? Great,
I'll run that by the developer, of course.
thank you.
Any
Quick
other
question.
questions for the town administrator? Go ahead.
Yes, just want to make sure the dates are in alignment regarding if it's at the end of October, if everything's submitted correctly. I just want to make sure that the end of October is not on the late end of the public meeting for everyone. So if it's at the end of October, will that probably be the middle part?
Well, they're anticipating, okay?
Right.
So they're going to get some questions back from the submission that they just submitted, okay? And that it's going to take them a while to reply to those questions.
Right.
And so they're anticipating that the 30-day window will probably start around the end of October. So
Okay.
the end of October should be around the beginning part of that.
Okay.
But as far as having a special meeting, I'm going to ask if we can have a special meeting. And they indicated to me earlier that they would be willing to come and talk to the mayor and council at any point. So, it's just a process of planning and scheduling at this point. So,
Right.
of course.
So could we make sure that that time frame, whenever it is, we don't know that it's within like the first week or so, or as far as a public meeting? Because we only have 30 days, so we can get input from the residents, so.
We can try. The only issue with that would be getting the notice out and the time that we need to.
Okay.
Yeah, we can try to tee it up to where
Okay.
it's within that week.
All right, thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council for the town administrator about Hospital Hill? All right, I'm sensing that this might be a September 11 agenda item at a minimum, but go ahead with the rest of your report, Mr.
Okay.
Galloway, please.
So the Red Cross came in today and indicated to me that on September the 13th, they will be doing a sounding the alarm event in parts of Ward 2 and Tuxedo. So they will be using the Judy P. Hoyer as a staging location for volunteers to come. Pretty much what the sounding the alarm is. If you have any issues with fire alarms, volunteers can come in and assist with either replacing the batteries or replacing the alarms. So we have partnered with them on, trying to provide resources for September the 13th. So the information is there. We'll be putting this out in a news and announcement, but also this will be in our newsletter, just as a point of information. Anything with that? So, Councilmember LeGlowick, you were copied on an email today from Councilmember Wade. In my understanding, Councilmember Wade had discussions with the regional director, so, okay. So moving on to the next item, Mayor and Council, just wanted to let you know, I had a great meeting with Accountant Diane Mock this week. We're in the process of closing out fiscal year 25. We're still anticipating some 25 revenues to come in. So within the next 2 weeks, we'll be closing the books on 25, and, we anticipate an on-time audit again. So just wanted to put that out there. Mayor and Council met with Public Works team, and we also met with Tolbert Feathers on the maintenance of some of the bump outs along Cheverly Avenue and throughout town. Again, please assist us in using C-Click Fix so that we can have those that as a tool to notify. But there have been some requests to tidy up some of our bump outs, and whenever if you send me in a direct text, that's fine as well, but if you can refer residents to C-Click Fix, that would assist us with these type of requests. Just to let you all know, we are addressing those. If you didn't make it to the fraud and scam event on Tuesday, you certainly missed a great event. The state's attorney came and her team provided some knowledge on the current fraud and scams that are out there, thanks to the Cheverly discussion group and Mr. Lane for getting support and getting people in attendance. Thanks to the mayor for his support on that day as well, and the staff. The staff did a phenomenal job of welcoming the state's attorney's office. So it was a successful event. This is a reminder to the mayor and council and the community that excessive noise is a violation in our code and can be reported to the police department. Please call 911 if you have noise complaints, especially after hours on the weekends, so that we can address those. It is in the renter agreement that the Cheverly Police Department can terminate a permit if it's excessive. So just wanted to make sure that you all are aware of that because we have received a few complaints as it relates to noise. And on the staff's end, we're going to notify the renters that they need to be mindful of the noise and be considerate of some of the neighbors surrounding the parks. Mayor and council, just wanted to throw some dates out to you all for September the 27th, October the 11th, or October the 18th for the council retreat. So if you can please, with our facilitator, we normally do it every year, but we normally do it later in the year or at the beginning of the year, but per the request of the mayor, wanted to go ahead and move forward with getting our facilitator in so that the mayor and council can have their retreat. If you can let me know by the close of business by next Wednesday what date is feasible for you, we can move forward with coordinating that event. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a clarifying question? I have September 27th as the ribbon cutting for the Ely building. Is that still the case?
Yes, September 27th is still the case. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So October the 11th or October the 18th? So, Mayor and Council, just to let you know, that concludes my report. Just wanted to give shouts outs to the police department. I heard it was a successful national night out. Also to the Public Works team for Boyd Park and the new playground. We have a lot of great things going in Cheverly, and we're excited about the progress that we've made over the past few weeks. Mayor and Council, just to let you all know that starting tomorrow through Monday morning, I will be out of town, and Chief Morris will be the acting town administrator. So you can direct any and all of your concerns to Chief Morris, okay? And at this point, I will address some of your questions.
Are there questions for the town administrator about any of those items or any other item? I will just echo great thanks for both the Boyd Park ribbon cutting event and for the frauds and scams event. Although the topic was unfortunate, it was a great team effort by really the entire staff. So thank you for that. Are there any questions for the town administrator? Hearing none at this time. Thank you, Mr. Galloway. This brings to the podium Chief Morris for the police report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. We'll try to maintain that breakneck speed that you mentioned earlier, Mayor. For the police department report, I'm proud to announce that the police department, we were audited on July the 29th with regards to the criminal justice information system, particularly criminal history record information. This is one of many audits that the police department is subjected to throughout the year, and I'm proud to say that we not only passed the audit, but we blew it out of the water. They found absolutely no deficiencies in any of the records that were subject to the inspections as it relates to the applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations with regards to dissemination, storage, and destruction of this type of information. So special thanks and shout out to Corporal Soller and Deputy Chief Kraus, who led the effort to guide us through this process and ensure success. Currently, we've got 21 applicants in various stages of background investigation. That's got to be a new record for the town of Cheverly because typically we're looking at 3 or 4. So it's a good problem to have that we can be particularly selective and make sure that we're identifying individuals that best meet the values of the town of Cheverly. I'll speak briefly about Anne Arundel County Community Foundation. The Deputy Chief and Mayor, I'm going to call on you in a minute to kind of fill in the gap here. The Deputy Chief and the Mayor have been working on developing an effort similar to a 501c3, but because of the nature of the government, this would be a donor-advised fund. Oftentimes, police agencies receive calls with individuals wanting to make donations to police departments, particularly monetary donations. And because of the strict laws as it relates to gratuities, all we can do is redirect that money to charitable organizations. But there is a method of setting up a foundation with very strict protocols and governance by the town that would allow us to accept those funds and use it to give back to the community by way of perhaps scholarships and things of that nature. So, Mayor, this is something that's been developed, again, and spoken to by you and the Deputy Chief. I know you're excited about it, and this will occur under your leadership. So I'd like to hand it off to you to fill in any of the gaps and with regards to your thoughts on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. This has really been the brainchild of Deputy Chief Krause, but she hooked me in early on it, and it's going to be a great effort. And it's, I don't have a lot more detail to add to it. It's essentially a foundation. So most large police departments have some kind of foundation arm that allow them to do these kinds of things. I'm not sure how many small town police departments have such a mechanism, but we think we can do it. So we are excited to get this up and running and enable the Cheverly Police Foundation to do some good in the community. Deputy Chief, do you want to add anything?
Well, I think you guys definitely nailed it. We will be the first agency that Anne Arundel County Community Foundation will be supporting. We are the first municipality that's doing it, so I'm very excited about it. Something that's been in the works for almost a year now. So I will be glad when we actually can have it start working for the town.
And the reason we're going through Anne Arundel County, just to answer that question, the Anne Arundel County Community Foundation is because they're the closest foundation to Cheverly that would work with us on this. Moving on, the FBI National Academy, we've already indicated Sergeant Blant's acceptance to that, so he'll be engaged. Unfortunately for him, the program is typically a 10-week live-in academy, but because of the holidays, they've added an extra week, so he gets to live in Quantico for 11 weeks in a barrack. So my condolences, or I mean congratulations to Sergeant Blant for that. The Deputy Chief and I will be attending the Governor's Highway Safety Association annual conference in Pittsburgh later this month. We were invited by the Maryland Highway Safety Office to attend because of the traffic enforcement efforts over the past couple years that Cheverly is engaged in supporting the Maryland Highway Safety Office, and all of the costs of travel, lodging, and registrations being covered by the Maryland Highway Safety Office. And we've got the Maryland Chiefs and Sheriffs Conference coming up in September, and the mayor has graciously accepted our invitation to come down for at least one evening so that he can participate in the graduation of one of our Lieutenant Gleason, who'll be attending the Aspiring Leaders Program. As it relates to our patrol services, over the last week and a half, all of CPD staff has been participating in active shooter response drills. We've been doing this over at Spellman Elementary School with the blessing of the principal. The town administrator got a lesson earlier this week in just how difficult it is to actually clear hallways, classrooms, and carry a shield that may seem light when it's Hollywood on TV, but when you're carrying it with one arm through the hallways, let's just say he was sweating a little, but he did well. Traffic enforcement initiative over the last 30 days has yielded a number of handgun arrests, as well as drug arrests and quite a few warrant arrests. We continue to ask our residents to report crime through 911. And there's a part on here we'd like to encourage not only the mayor and council, but all of our residents to participate in the ride-along program that's offered by the Cheverly Police Department. We are 24/7 now, have been since last December, so you can pick and choose what hours or days of the week that might best fit. Some of the key benefits of that ride-along program are included in the narrative for the report, so I'm not going to repeat that information. But the other benefit of this is it allows our citizens and our residents to observe the police officers engaged in the operation of their daily duties, and hopefully forgoes residents approaching police officers when they're on calls for service and perhaps unintentionally impeding or interfering with the officers when they're trying to engage in a police operation. So this is a safe way of doing it, and allows them to see the officers firsthand, and more importantly, have an interaction, daily interaction and conversation with our officers, so they get to know them not as Officer Byler or Sergeant Byler or Sergeant White, but Spencer or Orhan, and that's important from a community policing perspective. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the Deputy Chief for the community engagement, and then we'll take any questions.
Okay, CPD is in the preliminary stages of developing a community policing academy, hopefully aligning with the opening of the Ely building. It's a weekly program, approximately 8 to 10 weeks, designed to enhance community understanding and engagement with law enforcement. It's a direct hands-on approach for residents to actually work directly with our officers and have a better insight on day-to-day what our officers deal with tactically, report writing, traffic stops, and things of that nature. So we'll be putting something out in very short order and accepting applications for our own Citizens Police Academy. National Night Out was held on Tuesday, August 5th. It was a smashing success, if I could say so myself. We want to thank all of the town hall staff, the mayor and council for attending. I definitely believe there was more people this year than there were last year, and it was a great time for everybody who came. Even the weather held out. We are in the preliminary stages of starting to plan our Halloween event. And this year we plan on making it much bigger than last year, and it was pretty big last year, so I can only imagine. We are been working with Ms. White over at Town Hall to discuss different ideas to have younger children engaged in our activities. So a 2-day event, the day before Halloween and Halloween night, to include the Haunted Police Department, and then lots of other events, fall festival type events for 2 days. So this will be all hands on deck with the entire town staff, and we would be asking for the mayor and council's support and volunteering those 2 nights. That's it for the police report.
Any questions from the council for the police department? Thank you, Chief, for the invitation to Ocean City. And I think I want to thank you, in advance for my ride-along later this month, for which I am trying to get into shape. Any questions for the police department? All right, seeing and hearing none, thank you for everything you do. We will now move to Public Works, and I will start by thanking Mr. Brayman and his team for the walkthrough that they provided for me on a busy Friday morning last week of the Ely building. Go ahead, Mr. Brayman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and Town Council, and Town of Cheverly. Good evening. First, I just want to correct my written submitted report. I have 62nd Avenue. It's 62nd Place, so please pardon that error. But I am trying to push on all fronts. Unfortunately, the idea of a state permit came up. I believe I've discussed with them that we're partnering with the county. The county has an agreement or an MOU with the state that allows them to work in the right-of-way. I just have not been able to, including today, pushing on all fronts to get that through. But we expect to be able to get that popped out and authorization to move forward. We're going to be working on the retaining wall first, and so that's the critical aspect. We did put out a news and announcement that does have a starting within this range, We will put out an additional news and announcement, hopefully very soon, on updated information. But we're excited to try to get that sidewalk connection made, and then we'll be addressing some additional sidewalks in the area. So if there's any questions on that, I believe there was an inquiry to Mr. Galloway. I tried to relay some of that. I was hoping to press forward today and actually get authorization to be able to say we're cleared to go. If not, then I'll move on to the Ely building. Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for coming through and seeing a tour. It certainly looks different on the inside, I believe. I can't wait till all the public can see it. Yes, there are windows. They're on the south side. There's a lot of them. There aren't many windows on the north side. But the Ely building is continuing. We finally got Washington Gas to start laying the gas line. Unfortunately, this has taken a little bit longer than we wanted or anticipated, but it is the start of a part of one of the critical last steps. After the gas is installed, the water main still needs to be connected. I'm hoping that can be done concurrently while the gas line is installed. And then there's a slew of final inspections that we have to go through heading to UNO, which is the use and occupancy permit. Unfortunately, I can't give you an exact date at this point. We're still, Keller keeps saying that they can have it open in August. It does, the weather could be a factor, and this gas line could be a factor. But I'm certainly hoping that the last full week in August is the week that we obtain UNO. We're pushing on all fronts as much as we can, as well as still developing a punch list of things that we'd like some more attention to. But that's probably going to be something that we come back and work with Keller after the UNO. There aren't any questions on Ely?
Any questions about the Ely building? Okay, go ahead.
The next topic. Well, I almost I was sitting, so I didn't fall down. But WSSC called me yesterday and updated me that they're actually going to they came forward with that they're going to follow my request and recommendation, or I should say our request and recommendation, to come back through and to dig up and recompact properly, and actually without using any native backfill, all the trenches of Task Order 201. He just sent me, after I'd completed my report, he sent me some details of those. I believe they think there's 49 remaining trenches. We still have some questions about a few of the ones that they've already reworked, but I think that's great news, and I really want to thank Mr. Galloway and also the Mayor and Town Council for your continued support through this. I feel like I was obviously out on a tree limb challenging the too big to fail organization, but I think actually they're coming around and going to be doing the right thing. I also, though, received some feedback that the water main project for the west side, there's a phase 1 and a phase 2. That's going to be, they're now looking at that in spring 2026. So that is delayed a little bit, but I think it's actually going to be a better product. One of the things Mr. Cardenas and I identified and asked for was, seems to be potentially some different treatment, but we found some municipalities in Prince George's County, when they do an overland bypass of the water main, they just leave it in the curb and throw some cold patch tar over top of it. In Montgomery County, I found that they're burying it in front of all the driveways. And those patches look perfect. So I pointed that out. I hope we actually have WSSC rowing with us in more ways than one. And so I certainly am, though, going to be digging into more of the details with WSSC and with Mr. Al-Salam in the near future, hopefully next week. I have in my report that they will have a schedule at the September 19th tour. In his email to me tonight, he indicated that he hopes to have a schedule, but I feel like they are actually diligently working on that. That may not be fully fleshed out at the time that, of the tour, but I believe they're going to try to get this going this year. So we'll see how that pans out. But I have a real sense of relief that we are going to get the work done properly, and I think this is going to set a good precedent for them to come in and do work the first time the right way, and give us a better infrastructure, not only for theirs but also for ours. Because remember, if the trench sinks, it's our road that sinks with the trench. So those are the listed items in there. I will just say that the aspect of a sweet gum tree came up. That was removed by town staff this week. So the sweet gum tree on Jason has been resolved, and we thank everyone for their patience. I believe that might have been a hiccup in our system. It was already dotted. I believe it was meant to be removed some time ago, and we apologize for that. For the most part, the tree program is running very well, but we are learning from that. So thank you, and thank everybody for their patience with that. So if there's questions on this or anything else, I'm open to that. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. I wanted to, I see Vice Mayor Briner, but I wanted to go back to a question, or maybe that you raised, Mr. Bremen. Were you looking for authorization tonight for a sidewalk?
Sidewalk with respect to, you mean with the 62nd place?
Yeah, was that, yes, I'm sorry.
No, the authorization that I am, I learned that I needed to obtain was from State Highway or MDOT, because we are going to be, the town's right of way for 62nd place in the states up next to Landover Road overlap. I believe they're going to be working with us informally because we're partnering with the county. The county already has like a standing agreement that allows the county to work in state right of way.
I got you. Okay, you don't need anything from the council on any item.
I don't believe so, sir.
Okay, Vice Mayor Briner.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond, that is fantastic news about Task Order 201. Thank you so much again for your diligence with that. I am looking forward to seeing it actually happen. But please do, as always, keep us informed of the timeline so that we can communicate with residents that those streets are again going to be dug up. Because I know even though we know it's a positive, it doesn't look like a positive when it's work happening outside your house on your street. And I also wanted to reiterate that I am very willing to be in contact with SHA or MDOT to underline and emphasize the fact that the first day of school is August 26th. And the sooner we get a sidewalk on 62nd Place, the less likely it is that we have issues with pedestrian safety with the two schools that we have that are accessed by that sidewalk.
Well, thank you for that. I have a strategy to potentially have you and others chime in on the funding. I wanted to get through this first hurdle. I may try to utilize your help and others' helps for popping this out if my emails today are not successful.
Great. Can you quickly remind us when the 7 a.m. trash service goes back to 7:30 a.m.? Is it Labor Day weekend?
Yes, I believe right before Labor Day, at the end of August.
So for the next, just a reminder to everybody, for the next 2 weeks plus, Public Works starts its pickups at 7 a.m. and your receptacles need to be on the curb at 6:59 a.m. Otherwise, you may well get missed. Are there other questions from the council for the Public Works Director?
Mayor, if I can.
Yes.
I also want to acknowledge Mr. Bremen for, his dedication to WSSC. This has been a long road that, he's persevered, but we've played a lot of good cop and bad cop. But Mr. Bremen has been steadfast in ensuring that this was going to happen. So thank you, Mr. Bremen, for all your hard work on this.
Great, thank you for that. I absolutely 100% echo that. Any other comments from or questions from anyone for the Public Works Director? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Brayman. And I believe that takes us to item 13, review of the September town meeting agenda and future requests. The September town meeting will be at 7:30 p.m. on the 11th of September, Thursday. I believe a chunk of our meeting will be dedicated to County Council member Shayla Adams Stafford, who's going to come in and give us a short briefing and take our questions and requests. I want to ask what else is on the September 11 agenda, and then suggest that perhaps Hospital Hill should be on there as well, at least as a discussion topic. I will also remind everyone that there is no work session planned for Mayor and Council in August, so we will not be meeting in a regular meeting again until the 11th of September. Mr. Galloway, what else do you have on the September 11 meeting agenda?
Mayor, if you give me one moment, I'm going to have the town clerk report out
Oh,
what's
sure.
on the September meeting.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have the Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation scheduled for September 11th, and I think the county council members, the other one that I had, we also have the third reader and adoption of the ordinance for the Code of Ethics. That's all I have.
Okay. Do other council members have items for the September 11 agenda? Councilmember Fry, I think I see your hand.
We need to have our public hearing for the traffic calming devices, and it needs to be in the newsletter, advertised. I don't know if we want to do it for ahead of the town meeting. If that's easiest, or if there's another date. I just want to make sure it gets into the newsletter, since we were hoping to get it done before school started, and now we won't be able to. And as Vice Mayor Briner mentioned, with school starting, we just don't want any incidents that can be prevented with some of our walkers and stuff going to school. So that's what I would like to see, not necessarily for the September meeting, but either prior or on a different date, if we can get that hearing date set.
Regarding that, September the 11th at 6:30, does that work well for everyone? For the public hearing for the traffic calming devices?
Yeah, I suspect we can get 4 of us there for a quorum.
Perfect. Okay, we'll move forward with advertising.
Councilmember Fry, is that okay with you? Do you know if that time works for you?
I won't be able to attend anything before the 14th of September. I will be out of the country.
Okay, are you okay with us? It's your ward.
I'm okay
correct?
with it moving forward, though, and I can leave my preferences on the record ahead of time and let my residents know that I won't necessarily be there. If I can time it correctly with the time difference, I can try, but I don't want to make any guarantees.
Sure, but I think, Mr. Galloway, we can get four of us there to make a quorum. So why don't we shoot for 6:30 on the 11th?
Great.
And we will likely have more than enough time. 60 minutes is probably more than we need, but let's plan for that to be judicious, and let's get that advertised everywhere it needs to be. Are there other items for the 11th? And including, is there any thought to the utility of having a Hospital Hill discussion on the 11th?
If I can interject, I received a response back indicating that the mayor and council will have the opportunity to receive an informal briefing before the formal one. So thank you. And that was from the Hospital Hill developer. So if that's something that we want to add to the September meeting, that may be reasonable, or if you wanted to have that at the work session meeting. I think the work session would be pushing it too close to receiving more of the formal one. So either we have it at the September town meeting, or we have just a special meeting altogether. So I'll kick that over to the mayor and council, and you all can decide.
Vice Mayor, did you have your hand up?
I was just going to say that I think having it at the September town meeting is a good idea.
Okay, can we add that, please, Mr. Galloway? Pending no objection from anyone else. And we will simply, if you could just let them know that, we're going to need to defer to the council member Shayla Adams Stafford's schedule, but we should be able to get all this done, in our 3-hour window.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll put that on there, on that line. Any other items for September 11 or September 25 work session that anyone wants to throw out at this time?
Have we gotten an update on the pathway on Kilburn?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Galloway?
The path?
Yeah, do you want to maybe give us an update in the September 11 town administrators report and/or put it on the September 25 work session? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do both.
Okay.
Thank
Does
you.
that work, Councilmember Garces?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else you would like on either agenda? Okay, I think the only thing that I'm tracking is the October financial stuff, which I think is all going to be at the October work session.
If I can, Mayor?
Yes.
September work session will have the discussion with the green infrastructure. October town meeting will have a quarterly update from Diane. October work session, we're anticipating the audit report to be presented.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I think I had tangled the two in my head. Yes. September 25, tracking the green infrastructure discussion. Anything else for any upcoming agenda at this time? Okay. Hearing none, that takes us to item 14, Mayor and Council announcements. Let us start in order of ward with Councilmember Wade. You are all, of course, anyone is welcome to pass, and I will go last. Councilmember Wade, are you prepared to start us off?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. This is the first meeting since the Ward 1 30th Annual Community Day. That was last month. We had an amazing time. Actually, about 300 people were provided food boxes and were provided groceries there. So that was one of the main markers of there. I want to thank all elected officials on all levels of government for their support, especially the residents for the last minute support and helping out with that. We had over 50 government agencies, nonprofits, businesses who participated and provided resources for the event. So again, the last minute hiccups we prevailed through that. And thank you again for everyone that supported that particular event. We look forward to making it bigger and better next year. Next event is a reminder regarding Cheverly Prom. In the process of looking to sponsor that particular event, we're bringing that back. That will be September 6th, 8 p.m. to midnight. The cost is $25 here in the community center. That is via Eventbrite. Also, with the sponsorship, I'm looking to provide 2 free tickets for 2 of Ward 1 residents. I will send it out in my newsletter. Whoever responds to that first get 2 free tickets for that. I heard it'll be my first time attending, so I'm looking forward to that particular event. Also, KCOS, their 5th annual Community Day Back to School Supply Distribution will be Saturday, September 13th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Cheverly United Methodist Church for that. As mentioned before, back to school is for most people, public schools at the end of August. I am a person that work with the public schools and understand the concerns regarding what's going on in our schools, so make sure that we are safe. Also, resources are provided. Please reach out to me if they're in need of backpacks, school supplies, vaccinations, anything of that nature. Me working with Department of Social Services for any neighbors or as well as anyone that you know throughout. So wishing all the students, scholars, and their family members a successful scholastic school year, as well as for the teachers. Happy Labor Day to everyone. It's on September 1st. If anyone's traveling, make sure safe travels to you all. Take that break and make sure mental health going into the fall season as well for that. The third annual Cheverly Ward 1 and Ward 2 block party. As mayor, now that you're mayor, I have a new partner with that. Councilmember LeGloit, we already have planned that, looking to plan that out. We're looking at the date of Sunday, September 14th, 2025, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Tremont Inwood area. Everyone's invited out for that. As we do this every year, we started that with Mayor. Any issues and concerns you may have regarding Ward 1, 2, we definitely invite the police department out if they're available for that, and if that's the availability. But it's a great event to attend. I know it's a Sunday, but it's not doing a home Commanders game, so I look forward to doing that. And for me, that is about it. I yield back.
Mayor, if I can interject just for a moment. The
Yes.
chief just informed me that we have a ton of backpacks over at the police department. So there's a way that, folks need to come and get some. They can most certainly come to the police department, or we can collaborate with you all.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Excellent. That would be great. Councilmember LeGloheck, anything?
Thank you very much. So I will echo my thanks to Councilmember Wade for a great community day a couple of weeks ago. It was such a great idea that I've decided to do that joint community day with him. And so I will say it's September 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. And we'll look forward to additional logistical items on that coming forward. He sort of stole all the things I was going to talk about. So prom on September 6th, but the one thing that he did not mention, but on September the 26th, the St. Ambrose Men's Club will hold their annual golf tournament. If you'd like to get out on the golf course on a Friday afternoon, we have a really great time. We start about 9:30 in the morning. We start drinking around the same time. But we have a great time, and we come back to Fannin Hall in the afternoon for a great dinner and more recreation in the evening. With the St. Ambrose Men's Club breaks out our money wheel, and we have a great time. We party into the early evening. So if you need more details about sponsorship of that event, or if you'd like to just come out and play, it's $100 to play in the tournament and $125 if you'd like to sponsor a golf tournament, a golf tee sign at one of the holes along the course. We'd love to have you out there. It's one of our greatest events that we hold throughout the year. Thanks very much.
Vice Mayor.
I don't really have any announcements. I just want to say it's scary out there, and what's happening in the world is not normal, and I hope that we're all being kind and taking care of each other and staying safe.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilmember Tanzi.
Good evening. I will just add one thing. We had the ribbon cutting at Boyd Park. It was a great event. It was very well attended. There were probably 20 kids there. So it is a wonderful new park. If you have not made it to Boyd Park in the Old Fourth Ward, I do encourage you to go check out our latest and greatest park.
During the hours that the park is open, please do not visit the park during other hours. Councilmember Garces.
No, sir, no announcements.
All right, thank you, sir. And thank you for your help with National Night Out. It was fantastic. Councilmember Fry.
I have a couple of announcements. One, I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Reddick and the Fourth Ward Civic Association for their annual lunch that they held at Oasis, I think like a week ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and it was nice to see Chief and Deputy Chief there. And it was just nice to kind of meet some new neighbors and see some, neighbors' faces that I haven't seen in a while for that. So I also want to say thank you to Luis Cardenas from Public Works. He assisted our Girl Scout troop with putting up their Girl Scout project, which is standing on nice wooden posts right in front of the Woodworth Trail. They were inspired by seeing all the trash around the different parks and wanting to spread awareness about what that does to the environment. And so they created kind of like a poster that is weatherproof, and it is now up in front of the Woodworth Trail. So I just want to say thank you for that and the very quick turnaround that he did on that. Lastly, today in Korea, but tomorrow is Gwangbokjeol, which is Liberation Day in Korea. And it is a day that Koreans celebrate as a national holiday when we were liberated from the brutal colonization of imperialist Japan. And this year it kind of resonates very deeply because I feel like a lot of the liberties of our neighbors are being trampled on. I woke up this morning to a text message from a neighbor here in Cheverly who was being held at Dulles even though she was a green card holder. This is not something that's hitting just people on the news that we don't know. This is hitting our neighbors. And it's very close to us because we see what's happening in DC. And so on the heels of what Vice Mayor Briner was talking about, it is not normal. What we see is not normal. I don't think we should treat it as if it's normal. We need to continue to see the different ways that we can resist. And I think look at, some of the things that some of the countries around us have done to try to prevent this from happening. And we just need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and each other. So just wanted to say that. And thank you to all of our staff for all of the great work you guys do to keep us safe, keep our town clean, and just keep it running.
All right, thank you for that. Council, I have just a couple quick points. This Saturday is the regularly scheduled market. I want to emphasize to anyone who's listening the parking restrictions at Town Hall that kick in on Friday and go through until Saturday afternoon in order to facilitate the market. This Saturday is the 16th of August. The market runs from 8 a.m. to noon. So please come on out and meet your neighbors. I had intended to have mayor's hours. I will have them, but I forgot that I was going to be out of town, so I will not be having them in person. So I apologize for any confusion. I will be holding mayor's hours on Zoom only with ASL interpretation from 9:30 until 11 a.m. on Saturday the 16th. Just a quick reminder to everyone that going forward, our regular town meeting and work sessions start at 7:30, beginning with Thursday, September 11th. Council, I believe last item I heard a pretty, reasonable consensus around having a closed meeting on Wednesday, August 20th. I'm going to throw out 7:30 as a start time. Is there any objection from council? Just to get us in the habit. Hearing no objection, then Mr. Galloway, if your team could advertise a closed meeting for mayor and council for Wednesday, August 20 at 7:30 p.m. The items or the justifications would be B1 personnel and B7 legal advice.
Will do.
Thank you for advertising that. That is it from me. Council, anything additional? Mr. Galloway, anything I've forgotten?
Think you cleared it all.
All right, then I will take us to our last item, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
There is a motion to adjourn made by Vice Mayor Briner and seconded by Councilmember Tansey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? It's unanimous, 6-0. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, and have a safe night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.